Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games of the Game Pass collection, bringing you three unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the Captain Nemo of this episode. Andrew, with me are Captain Robert Stockton, Keith.
Hello? I know I'm supposed to get that reference, but I actually don't.
And with us, our other captain, Steve Zysau. Aaron.
That's from Life Aquatic.
I was hoping you'd get that.
Wait, mine is?
No, Aaron's.
Mine was.
Oh.
I don't know what Keith's was either.
Keith was
Okay,
the
good.
captain of the Ocean Gate submarine that imploded.
Oh.
I know he
Okay.
did a little Google research. Famous captains. And he got that one. Yeah, good job, Andrew. Was he
that's-
actually a captain?
That would
I mean,
be more
he-
like
he-
infamous, I think.
I mean, he drove a submarine. Does that qualify as a captain, I guess?
I
I mean,
mean,
that thing was
all right.
barely a submarine.
Let's actually break this down a little bit. If I had a little lake in my backyard and I built myself a little submarine, could I call myself a captain now?
Well, I think he,
I mean, you
he
can't-
built the submarine for the ocean. Granted, it wasn't successful.
Okay, my
Because
point
if
is,
you also
different
build a
like-
boat, then you are also a boat maker and a captain.
who appoints you a captain?
mean,
you actually
isn't
go
it
to
the
school
same-
for it.
Isn't the same as like, because you would call him a driver of a submarine. A driver is someone who does a
pilot.
car. A
Well,
pilot is something in a
you
plane.
need a license to be a captain. Just the same as you need
Isn't a
license.
captain just a person who drives any sort of aquatic vehicle?
I love that you're saying that, Andrew, because then, yes, I have been a captain before.
Oh,
I
what have you
mean,
driven, Aaron?
I've driven boats.
When? When have you driven boats?
I've been on a kayak.
Okay, I don't know if a kayak would be considered.
I've paddled the paddle boat.
Yeah.
I've
Andrew,
canoed
you
a
can't
canoe.
do that.
I've been
now.
on a bookie board. Does that count?
There you go, Captain.
You did say an aquatic vessel because
He
I
did
have
say
also been in a tube on a river.
Oh, Captain Keith. Congratulations.
As a captain of that float.
Wow.
It was a maiden voyage. There was one survivor.
We're all captains.
Anyway, this week Aaron picked the game. We played Abyssus by Double Moose Games, which Abyssus, what a terrible name.
Is it a terrible name?
I feel like someone was trying to say abyss and they sneezed halfway through. And they were like, yeah, let's go with that.
Because my immediate reference, and I would like to know, we'll do zero, obviously, journalistic integrity on this.
As
But
you should.
my immediate thought is the Abyss, which is a movie that takes place at the bottom of
Yeah.
the ocean. So,
But what's with the us?
like, you don't want to just say the Abyss because
Why not?
that would be because it's a movie, a very famous
Like a
movie.
Oh,
copyright
and no other
infringement, like,
mediums have ever borrowed names. Like Doom. There's only one Doom, right?
Yeah,
But it's all licensed under one studio / like
No.
line.
No, I guess it is.
There's
Yeah.
not someone just like creating Doom games that aren't
Uh,
Doom games. There's no Grand Theft Auto games that aren't Grand Theft Auto games.
I could research, but I can guarantee.
Did you
that
guys
there's
play
other-
the new Forza Horizon game?
There's
Not
other-
the one
there
that
are other
came on Game
instances.
Pass. It's another Forza Horizon game that's also called Forza Horizon.
I don't
It's
want to
actually a
waste too much
basketball
time
game.
researching. I guarantee you there's other instances.
Andrew is having a tough start to this episode. Very tough.
No
I'm
one's
not,
getting his
'cause this always
references.
No, I'm
Whenever
not.
you're on the podcast and you're like, you got to think of something right now. It's like, I can't think of anything. But when you listen to it, you're like, oh, here's like 5 things right here I could name right off the bat. But anyway, Abyssus is a first-person rogue-like FPS where I guess I kind of maybe call it a boomer shooter. You are stuck in an arena.
Yeah.
You are basically going through a map, a pretty linear map, going from point A to point B, into an arena, fight all the enemies, collect a reward, progress the story. If you end up losing your run, go back to the main base, insert your soul fragments, which is kind of the continuous currency, upgrade your character, unlock new weapons, new abilities, and try to see as far as you can get in the run, and rinse and repeat. Increase the difficulty to hopefully eventually get the true ending. But yes, there's... But yeah, as far as the story goes... Oh, wait, no, I guess... Sorry, I'm already jumping ahead. Let's go around whether or not we give this a game or a pass. I know, I'm now losing it. You got me all
I
frazzled.
told you,
now.
Andrew is having a rough episode, guys. I'm sorry.
For me, this is a game. I'm really glad you picked this, Aaron. It's we've played a handful of roguelike FPSs like this before. I think. Well, the one that always comes to mind was RoboQuest. Absolutely love that game.
That's exactly what I had in mind as I was playing this.
Which I don't know if that's still on Game Pass.
I don't think it is, which is too bad because that was a good one. What was the one with the animals?
Nope, RoboQuest is still on Game Pass.
Oh, okay, it wasn't.
Yeah, and then the one with the animals. That's what I was trying to think of too. It was like, I keep seeing things on it on Steam.
Yeah,
but
because they
got
keep
terrible.
updating it.
Yeah, they never updated on the console, which it made me incredibly sad because it was a really good game.
Real bummer. But either way, you're going off the rails again.
I know, but
Feels
RoboQuest
like
is
those
great.
games.
But anyway, Abyssus. This is a game. I had a ton of fun with this. I found this actually to be pretty easy. Literally, my second run, I was able to beat the run. So I didn't need to upgrade my character to crazy levels. I did feel like if you just have decent enough skill, this game gives you a dash, gives you a double jump, gives you an air dash. Anytime a game gives me a dash and an air dash, I'm like, all right, this is great. I'm going to enjoy this. And yeah, I had a ton of fun with the business. My biggest complaint, though, is the lack of variety. There's not a lot of areas and not a lot of enemies. So after a couple runs, I'm like, I have seen all these people before. So that can wear thin, but this game has a lot to grind for. It has some really cool guns, really cool abilities, and the actual environment of this game is awesome. So this is definitely something worth checking out.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty much always going to land in a game category. It's a roguelike, and I mean, you know what that does for me. So, what's your category, Aaron? What is it? Story games are pretty much a borderline game at all all
Oh, you're talking about like the choose your own adventure. Yeah,
the super massive games.
Yeah, that like starts at like a 70.
Yeah, so like pretty much you're always gonna land probably in the game section for me when you're a roguelike. So it had that. This is not my favorite by any means, and I'm gonna partly blame Aaron because he put me on another game recently, and that definitely distracted me from this because I probably didn't play this as much as I could have, but at the same time, I really just was struggling to really get into it. And I think we'll get into this. It's because you mentioned it, Andrew. The difficulty is not necessarily there. It's a little skill heavy. I am not a good FPS player. That includes against the computer, includes against people. I am just not skilled overall when it comes to that. So this isn't
even in
my
real life.
Strongest. Yeah, absolutely. Not a great first-person shooter in real life, for sure. Should have seen me play basketball. But, yeah, so it is a game. I did like it, and I think it's worth checking out. But this is not going to be the first one that I would recommend to people when it comes to Game Pass. Especially if RoboQuest is still on there, because RoboQuest I loved.
Yeah, this is a game, but I would temper your expectations with this one a little bit. This one didn't quite meet the expectations that I had for it. When I saw the trailer kind of hypes up kind of how much there is to do in this game. So in my mind, I kind of saw this as a very grindy, infinite possibility type of game. And it's not quite like that. There aren't as many weapons as I thought there was going to be in there.
I actually thought there was more weapons.
Really?
Well, you have what, 6, 7 weapons, and then each of them has 3 different methods of shooting.
There's 9 weapons.
So you have 27 total, which isn't it? I think that's a pretty, at least options. But I'm at least going to back Aaron up on this in the sense of having to lock into one of those 27 options, and that's it. Abilities pending really makes you feel like it's less customizable. But anyways, I'm gonna let Aaron go from here.
Yeah. I guess I went into it expecting that this was going to be something that I could play for a really long time. At the end of the day, I would say you've probably done just about everything you need to do in like 12 hours. And like Andrew said, he beat it on a second run. because things just aligned. There is obviously RNG involved, so Andrew just kind of had the perfect stack going in there and was able to complete that run. And he's not wrong. The level design is, I was hoping it would be like just generated levels, but they're not. They are very much like these set levels. So you know what you're looking for when you're going into them. And they're kind of very quick to fly through. And again, I feel like in 12 hours, I would walk away from this feeling pretty satisfied. Where with a bullet hell roguelike, I will, as long as the meta progression's there, I can play that forever because I always feel like I'm developing and grinding towards something. This one didn't give me that same sense. So I was a little bummed out in that front. But it does play great. I think the setting is great, and I do think it actually plays like a lot of fun. Like it's pretty zippy. So it's a little bit, it's positive, but a little bit of a mixed bag in some areas.
Yeah. But getting to the story of Abyssus, so for my piece together, you're a crew on a submarine. Don't quite know the time, but it's definitely very heavily inspired by Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I mean, heck, the submarine literally looks like the submarine depiction in some of the novels covers. So you're looking at very like early, maybe 1900s kind of diving bells and old school underwater suits.
Very Bioshocky feel too.
Yeah. But so you're this submersible crew that gets stuck on some sort of, you got teleported to some sort of land at the bottom of the sea, which takes very heavy remnants of like Aztec culture. To me, I thought it was like, oh, maybe they're trying to go with like the Lost City of Atlantis or Lost City of Atlantis, but I don't know. It's more Aztec than anything. But yeah, your crew is essentially stuck in this endless loop of trying to explore this area, try to figure out what's going on. You find some journals along the way, which also aren't procedurally generated. Those journals are always there.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically you are trying to figure out a way how to get out of this land that you're kind of stuck on. So yes, I did beat it in the second run, but there is a true ending, which I have not yet unlocked.
So yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. What did you mean by that? Like what, when you say
it literally, have you ever beaten a run?
No, I've gotten darn close.
What a loser.
I know. I had one round where I felt like I was pretty much stacking what you described you did on your second round. So I was like, oh, cool. Like I got the fire and I was like, okay, like I should be good here. And I got stinking tripped up on one of the bosses. I accidentally fell off the edge. And then when I came back up, I was on top of the boss. Like it spawned me right on top of him. So I'm like desperately trying to get away. And then I ended up dying. And I was like, that is so stupid. I can't believe I did that. I just didn't realize how close I was to the edge. So when I went to dash, it was the, it's like the big crocodile guy that'll kind of charge at you.
Oh, yeah. He was my first death, my first run.
Yeah, so you can fall off the edges there, and it always spawns you right back where you fell. And since he charged, and I jumped back, I ended up...
You were only on the second... There's 4 worlds you got to go through, and you're only on the second.
No, so that's the other thing. Sometimes it swaps them up. Have you noticed that too? Have you noticed that?
I've always gotten Sanctuary as my third world.
Really?
Yeah, and it swapped up so the first 2 worlds, it's either between the abandoned temple, the submarine, and the garden. But I've always had Sanctuary.
The crocodile one's in the garden.
Yeah, and so like he's either the first or the second world for me.
No, I had him on the third.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's like that stuff. It'll switch up. It's very strange.
The first boss I always fight is the Golemancer.
Yeah.
Right?
That's if you're in the abandoned temple.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's always the first section for me.
No, sometimes I get the submarine as my first.
Yeah, it'll...
Either way, that's what I'm saying. That's always my first section. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's
the game does switch, and that's what I kept doing. I kept playing this. I'm like, am I just getting unlucky? Like, is this just not giving me enough random, or is this actually set? And like I noticed, it's like for me, it would mostly switch first world. Like I said, either give me submarine or the abandoned temple. I think once or twice it actually gave me the garden as my first world, but very rarely.
Yeah.
And then almost always the second one was
garden. There's going to be some way that
almost
triggers it differently.
I don't know. I think it's just not optimized well.
But truthfully, yeah, I just assumed that it wasn't random in any way, other than the rooms in the area switched up a little bit, like. The order, or maybe you get a charge.
I think it can change the order,
Yeah, it changes the order,
and it
but
can
they're always
change.
the same room build. It's like five
Yeah.
or six
Yeah.
different room designs that just
Yeah.
rotate through. Sometimes you'll get the pylons in the one with the bridge. Sometimes you get the pylons in the one with the hill, or whatever it is.
But Aaron, to actually answer your question though, the final boss, I mean, it's not really much of a spoiler. You fight like an Aztec god, and you kill him, you defeat him. His throne lowers down, and you touch his throne. Your character sits on the throne, and you transform into the Aztec god. And it literally says, "Congratulations, you won. But to get the true ending, you got to increase the difficulty." And so that's what it tells you. And then I've noticed, like, as I'm playing, like, there, you know, at the end of your run, it actually shows you a grid of like where you got on the progression. And there is an extra circle at the end, which I think you fight a kraken. I mean, the cover shows like a squid on the front, so I think you fight some sort of octopus creature as the final boss.
Cthulhu.
But possibly, it does kind of seem like they sometimes hint at like the ancient gods.
So when you won your run, it wasn't treating it like you won. It was just like, all right, your run's done, but you didn't actually win.
I mean, yeah, it forced me to end. Yeah.
So tell
No,
me,
but that's a common trait in this genre though, because what they're trying to do is they want you to keep replaying those higher difficulties. You're not naturally gonna want to do that. I mean, you might if that's your drive, like you Aaron, you really like the meta progression. You're gonna naturally want to do those harder difficulties, but not everyone wants to do that. But if they go, oh, there's another ending, now they've got a reason to keep more people around.
yeah. Now I have a question. I know we kind of just walked right out of story. There wasn't much to say about story, so we're kind of talking gameplay here. But I do have a question for you, Andrew, about your run. Because one of the things I did like about this game is there are little mysteries.
Yeah.
Like there are little things to go find. Have you guys found the voids?
Yep.
I think they're called.
Which I
what
have
do
no
those
idea.
do?
They're called like
Fissures?
void fissures. Yeah.
Yeah.
No idea. No idea
So
what they do.
every once in a while, you'll see like this anomaly out
A
of
little
reach.
ball.
Yeah, around a corner, and you shoot it, and it says, "Oh, you found a void fissure." I don't know what it does, so I was kind of curious if you knew what that was. But the
No.
other thing that is kind of cool, I think, about this game is how it introduces new weapons to you.
Yeah.
They're just kind of found as you're going through the game.
Some are very hidden.
Yeah. So some are.
That explains why I never found any, or
Oh.
because I never found them. I didn't know I had to
you
find
get,
them. I was just
three
assuming
that
I
are
had to
along
unlock
the
them.
path. Like three
Yes.
you can't miss.
That there's also
Well,
there's also some, maybe just one in like the lobby, the starting.
No,
lobby.
there is two.
I thought there were two, but I was like, am I making that up? So there's two just in the lobby alone. So if you're kind of going around there, kind of exploring, it is a decently big size
Yeah, there's
space.
the pistol and the shark deity where you can get the lobby.
Yeah, yeah. So I like how it does that. I thought that was kind of a cool way of, yeah, these levels are very samey, but it did always make me feel like, oh, well, I gotta check these corners just in case. Like I gotta see if I can find a fissure, even though I don't know what it does, or maybe
There's
there's a
some
weapon hidden
challenges
back
that are
there.
tied to the fissures.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I don't exactly know what to do.
According to Copilot search, void
The
fissures
Wikipedia?
also. No, this is just Copilot, which is
It's ChatGPT.
pulling from Abyssus wiki. Void fissures, also known as search fissures, glowing green collectibles that unlock cosmetic rewards when all are destroyed in a given area. So nothing
Oh, okay.
exciting. So it's cosmetics.
Cosmetics are pretty exciting. So
Well, yeah, because it is multiplayer. Did
Yeah.
either of you play it multiplayer? 'Cause
No.
I did.
oh, you did?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was it-
People like jumped in my game all the time.
Was it fun?
Oh, it was very fun because this game I don't think actually fully scales. Like I don't know if it scales at all, honestly. So I was just playing on my own, and I like one person just jumped in and like we won the run and destroyed it.
Yeah.
Later on, yeah, I had another person, and I think he knew I was newer. I mean, granted, I think I was still rocking default cosmetics, but he showed me like all the weapons. So I like one run, he literally was like pinging, go here, do this, do that, and so he got me a handful of achievements, handful of
that's
like
cool.
finding other
Oh,
weapons.
that's awesome.
Yeah, so I unlocked all the weapons like within one run.
That's the community coming together. You
Yeah.
love to see it. Because that was good. Oh, so that was actually my broader question, Andrew, to you was on your second run when you completed the game, how many weapons did you find on that first run? On your completed
But just
run?
the ones that are on the way. So the shotgun,
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got the shotgun and
Don't you pick up the harpoon?
the harpoon. The harpoon, you got to beat a boss at a certain time. In my first run, I didn't do that. I think you did, but I got but I definitely didn't get it my second round because I found the harpoon later.
What was the gun? It was like right when you complete one of the depths, and it's like you go around and you have to jump over into the water, and there's one of the sailors is laying there, and the gun's next to him. I thought that was the harpoon.
Yeah, that was the harpoon. Yeah, but like it was right after the boss, but it was kind of hidden on the left, to the left. So I ended up missing that my second run.
Okay.
But I found it later. But yeah, that was a harpoon gun. That's a great gun. That's one thing I will say I really like about this game. The guns are all very fun.
Yeah,
and they're all very cool.
I hated the pistol.
I don't think I ever played with the pistol.
Hated the pistol.
The only one I maybe didn't care for was the bow. But even then,
Yeah.
the bow is fun when you're playing co-op because obviously if you can stay back, it does a ton of damage. And if you could have someone kind of more being in the front line, like that's what happened with me because I was just sitting there kind of picking enemies. I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of fun. But yeah, the bow is just okay. But like the gun designs themselves are like you got some generic. You do have a basic machine gun, a basic shotgun, and basic pistol. But got a bow and arrow. You got a harpoon gun. You got a Tesla gun, which was actually a lot of fun. I like the Tesla gun.
I like that one a lot. Harpoon was my all-time favorite. And because the pistol, this is my way of seeing it, the harpoon was just a better version than the pistol. Like the pistol kind of plays like a little bit of a faster gun that's supposed to be like crit damage. But the harpoon was just better. It was just better at that. You could kind of wreck people really quick with that gun.
Yeah. See, my favorite was the disc thrower. Because once you were able to upgrade the weapons, like in the middle of your run, I had it where every time I hit a weak spot on an enemy, it automatically triggered its secondary ability, which was like an explosion. And the explosion also did a bunch of other effects. So as I'm just hitting enemies, it's just bursting everybody. And I was like, God, this is a great gun.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So here's where I'm going to go in on to the difficulty. And part of it is I'm just not good at these. I struggled so hard to even get past the first mini boss.
Oh my God.
The
laser guy?
The three floaty balls.
You just got to sidestep.
You have one dash and unless you get the angle just right, it burns your health quick.
Yeah, I just
and the amount of times
pole.
I would spawn into there and just insta die. Because he would just hit me with the laser and I'd have already like 40 health because I struggled. I don't know what it is because it's a weird. The game feels fast, but I don't feel like I'm as fast as I need to be. But like there's also points where I feel like I'm taking damage because I'm getting controller vibrations and I'm not taking damage. So there's confusing inputs. This is all personal. I know this is.
Yeah, there is some visual inputs that are confusing. There was times where I'm like, am I getting hit? But it's actually just warning you an enemy's near you or something like that. It's weird.
All right, good. So I'm not crazy because then I'm like panicking and then I do end up getting like, it is a me thing. I'm not necessarily fully blaming the game by any means. But man, I'm just not good at this. And I will say now that I'm starting, like once I started to get some soul stones, I was not having those same struggles. It was just even getting those first couple kills to even get soul stones rolling, just a real struggle for me.
This game is slower than RoboQuest, and you didn't struggle with RoboQuest.
I thought RoboQuest was faster.
RoboQuest has, I think, a lot more damage over time. That it just throws at you right away, and so the weapons scale a lot faster in game, not necessarily with a meta progression. And then RoboQuest 2 has a fairly good auto aim aim assist from what I remember, and I think that helped a lot.
I'm convinced, Keith. Maybe you can correct me, but I'm convinced that I ruined first-person shooters for you. For your entire life.
I mean, the two of you did. It's collectively the two of you because you were both in the room because I know the moment you're talking about, and you were both in the room. It was. This is a brotherly thing that
do you
guys
remember
just
this, Andrew?
ruined my psyche.
Oh yeah, the Call of Duty. We referenced it a lot.
Okay, all right. I just it is funny because when we were playing this game, when I was playing this game, I was thinking, I wonder if Keith will like this because obviously it's like a genre he likes, but just in first person shooter. And I've never known Keith to enjoy first person shooters.
What about Turok Rage Wars? I feel like we all grew up on Turok
Well,
Rage Wars.
yeah, that was it.
You don't remember me with Turok Rage Wars?
What,
What
you
do you
raged
know?
a lot?
Oh my gosh. It's a cerebral bore.
Cerebral bore, and he's
No,
just
Turok
screaming
Rage Wars didn't have the
bore.
cerebral bore.
No.
It was Turok 2 that had the
Yeah,
cerebral
because
bore.
Keith, Rage Wars was the one that,
was strictly
we played
multiplayer.
literally all night.
Yeah.
And remember when you were like, I'm going to go to bed, and it was like 5
Yeah,
o'clock, being like,
like
oh, the
after like
sun's
10
coming up.
minutes.
Never mind, I'll just go out and play. And that was Rage Wars. Because
Okay.
you used to try, there were like a ton of characters on it. I remember this on the N64. There were a ton of characters, and you tried to beat it with every one of them. Do you like remember the mites?
sounds
They were
right.
just like a cloud of mites.
Yeah, I love the
Yep.
mics.
Yeah, so Rage Wars you actually really liked. Yeah, it was the
And it's not that I've never liked a first person shooter though. That's it. Like I have bits where I've liked them. I mean, there was a while where I was really into Call of Duty for a few years. Like I do go through spurts, and I do like the genre. I'm just not good at them.
Well,
And so
yeah.
and so that's really more the thing that it comes down to is I'm not generally good on PvE like these. What was I always forget the name of it. The dinosaur one. Freaking
I
love
lied,
that
Keith.
game.
Cerebral bore is in Rage Wars.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, so the
Dino game where you're like in the city.
yeah, like that PvE, PvP.
Yeah, what was that
Dino-
one you guys played it?
first person
Oh,
shooter?
not Dino Crisis.
It's
Oh my
kind of
gosh,
new.
we just talked about this.
Yeah,
not
but
too
it's
long
been
ago.
already dead, I think. But that
Yeah.
game, yeah, I loved that. I do like some first person shooters, but that is somewhat of the drawback to me in Abyssus. Not necessarily because I don't like it as a genre, but because I'm just like, oh man, it's tougher for me. And
I've seen it
like
real
a lot
time.
of these games.
You are like twitchy. Like
Yeah.
if things are coming too fast at you, like I've never seen somebody just panic, like hit their sticks.
Exoprimal.
Exoprimal, yeah. But that's always been Keith on first-person shooters, pretty much. I mean, since the N64, because I feel like in the N64, I don't remember having issues playing like GoldenEye or something with you. You were fine on that. It was once there were two sticks involved, it got like too fast, and you just couldn't do it anymore.
I think that's probably because it's what's driven me away from sports games. They get a little bit too complicated. I'm like, yeah, I just don't want to have all these mechanics built into the game. I just want to hit
Man
a bunch
just
of
wants
buttons,
cozy games. Just give the man cozy games.
but not cozy. I want bullet hells.
Yeah. This
He wants number go up.
So all right, so it does kind of explain it then, because I was curious how you were gonna like this one, just because of your history. I figured this one, but I didn't think this one was too fast. That's kind of where I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh,
that's-
he can be okay.
Like,
like I
RoboQuest
said, I
is
think-
fast.
I
His
think it's just the
grinding-
confusing
jumping-
inputs to it, and
There are.
it,
switch that.
because that's what really makes me twitchy when it comes to first person shooters is when I think I'm gonna get hit. Like you said, I start panicking a little bit, and I don't react well. So when there's just a lot of input, I struggle with these. Like Doom is pretty good because Doom, it's not, since it's not a roguelike, you're kind of always built to be overpowered. So I can always just stay speeding around, and it feels fun. It feels fast. And this
You can
things
lower
start
the
to get a
difficulty
little
in that.
yeah, things start to get a little too fast for me, and I'm just like, man.
Wait, was there no difficulty in this?
No, because it's a roguelike. You generally can't adjust
Till you-
difficulty.
That makes sense. Yeah, until usually there's accessibility,
Yeah,
which I
people
didn't look
do.
at. So maybe
Which
there's
there
some aim
wasn't. I
assist.
looked.
Okay, I was gonna say maybe there's like more of an aim assist that I didn't look at. But overall, like it's not a complaint though. That's the thing. Is I'm not like, oh man, if this just were a first person shooter, like it would just be better, and I would have gotten I would have progressed more. But I actually had fun with this, and I think I think the guns played well. They felt punchy. They like it had all the things I would like in it. So not a complaint by any means.
Yeah, I will say, like I said, my biggest complaint though is the lack of variety. Like when I've played after like my third or fourth run, I was like, okay, don't tell me this is the only maps that are here. And unfortunately, that is the only maps that are here. There is not a lot, because even I looked it up. I'm like, there's got to be more to this game. And unfortunately, there's not. There's not a lot of map variety or enemy types. I will say the difficulty does get harder. Like, anytime you beat a run, you get a currency called brine, and that is what you put in. Like, there's a machine where that's where you can increase the difficulty. You use a brine canister to increase the difficulty. You kind of pick what you want. So it'll be like, oh, this modifier will have chaotic rooms where, it's a risk reward. It'll be a harder room, but you can get more rewards from it. Or, you'll get enemy varieties will have perks to them. So the enemies may have something like a shield or vampiric life, like vampiric attacks. And so, like, you can kind of pick these kind of difficulties that you want. And there actually is, like, an endless mode at the very bottom of that tank. You literally can literally pay 1 brine, and its enemy's health and attack goes up by 1%. And it's unlimited. So you literally can keep putting things there to have enemies go to... So there's essentially an endless mode to see how high of a difficulty you can do. But yeah, there's a meter on the left that shows you, like, oh, once you fill the tank this much, that's how you get the true ending.
Okay.
So there is a lot to grind for. It just stinks that there's not a lot you're seeing. Because I joined a kid's room who was on a very high difficulty, and yes, I was actually dying quite a bit. Like, enemies were hitting me for a ton. And it's like, okay, this is actually what it feels like. Because that's why Muscle Rise, you died so much, Keith. Like, I felt like enemies are so weak. Like, I felt like I was getting hit by the boss, and it's like taking 10 health, and you start with 400
The time to kill
health.
enemies is low, I will say. Like, it's just that I was struggling to kind of focus on what was that, like, because you'd have the flying guys, and not that any of them are particularly difficult, but I just wouldn't balance well, like, between the flying, the ones that are jumping at me, or like the little spinny one that spawns the flying guys if you don't focus on him enough, which I wasn't doing because I'm like, oh crap, I keep getting hit by the flying ones. Let me pare those down and then I'll go back to him. But as I'm doing that, he spawned 5 more, so I'm really just in this endless loop of fighting those, and I'm just taking little bits, 10, 15 damage here and there, so that by the time I get to that laser boss, now all of a sudden I'm half health. Boom, he hits me for another half health. I get to the final boss. There's not a lot of places that gives you health in this game.
You got to unlock them.
Yeah, so like it's not a complaint. It is, again, I just want to be very clear. It is me just admitting I am not good at these, but that's where I was struggling. That's why, and it's not a knock at the game. I'm just dumb.
So you never unlocked a weapon, did you?
Nope, sure didn't.
Because I will say the thing that makes it the easiest too, when you get the shotgun. Is it when you get the shotgun?
I did unlock modifiers, so I had like multiple versions of the base gun, but I just didn't have any additional weapons.
But an ability you like, I thought it was by the shotgun, but you get the turret instead of the frag grenade. The turret everyone uses the turret. The turret apparently is the best ability.
Love the turret.
Yes. Oh, the turret's super good. Because you give the turret any sort of ability, like fire, electric, anything, you just plop it down and it's literally just melting everything.
One of the pendants that I got made the turret, like, every time I threw it, there was a 50% chance I could throw another one.
Yeah, the freebie one, yeah.
And then I ended up getting one that doubled that. So it doubled my turrets. So every time I threw one, I had a chance to throw another one, and then I had another one to throw that I could also double that.
How'd you not win that run? That alone, just throw a ton
I know
of turrets.
It was pretty good. I don't remember what happened on that run. It's usually me just kind of getting stuck on something, like I get stuck on a wall or something stupid. But I don't remember what happened on that one.
Which that can happen. There is an option when you press start saying I'm stuck. You'll actually reset your character. Because I got stuck once in the Sanctuary map. The doors are giant faces. And like they kind of open and close weird. And when I entered a room, I actually backed up into it and it closed in on me. And I was just completely stuck in the environment. And I was like, well, luckily there's a I'm stuck button.
Whoops.
I liked the tentacles ability. Just spawn those and shoot. Like, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, see, this game has really good stats too. Like, even mid-run, if you're playing multiplayer, you literally can hold the back button and you can see your friends build, your build, what damage they've done so far, what you've done for damage, and it'll break everything down actually in-game, which is fantastic. And then also, too, when you finish the run, it'll finish the run saying, hey, you did 1 million damage. 60% of it was your primary fire. This is the total damage you did. Like, it actually had really good stats, so you got to break things down. Because, like, it's anytime you play it, I mean, as Keith said, we're playing another Survivor game. And it's like it's important to kind of see of like everything's going on, but what's actually good for me? What's actually doing the damage? And you can see it in the breakdown at the end of the match.
Yep.
Now, when you're playing with other people, particularly I would imagine at the higher levels, are you trying to focus on like complementing skills a little bit too, more so than just like, hey, I want to try to do the most damage in the room type of deal? Like,
I mean, I played 4 matches with multiplayer, and no, people were just kind of doing their own things. Granted, 3 of them were just people just smoking everything, so I was just kind of there for the ride. I mean, I kept up in damage. Like, at the end of the match, like I had still a decent breakdown for damage, but the one we ended up getting smoked, the one that it was like really high difficulty, no, just we couldn't get far enough for me to do anything for complimentary, which there isn't a ton for complimentary skills.
No.
There are some perks. Like whenever every once in a while, the room rewards are random. Sometimes you get no reward, but every once in a while you'll get a blessing shrine, and it'll tell you, do you want like fire? Every time you pick a fire thing, increases all your damage by 5%. I think it was brine. It increases all your allies' damage. That was the only perk I saw that actually helped your allies. But it's not like you could pick up a healing ray or something like that. There wasn't really much co-op abilities. There was a co-op ability where you could drop a shield, kind of a shield. It like slowed enemies and damaged enemies, but it could protect your allies as well.
I had a pendant that I saw that was ally specific. I want to say it was a healing one. So it was like I could heal them, but it wouldn't heal me.
The only one I saw is you can't get healing, but the healing turns to gold.
No.
yeah, I got that one.
This one was specifically an allies one. And for some reason at the time, I was kind of like, oh, I must be able to spawn in some guys. I wasn't even thinking like, oh, yeah, this is co-op. I just kept thinking like, oh, this, I must be able to spawn some things in at some point. But
Which the co-op is super easy. Literally at the main menu.
Yeah,
It literally has online play. You can just click and throws you right into a game.
I think it tries to default you to online play, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because anytime I was playing my game, like I never only one time I tried to join somebody's game. People always just joined my game, and it worked out fine.
Is it just one or is it 4?
Up to 4 players.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. This is kind of one of those games when I got to the end of kind of like, all right, I've kind of gotten my fill on this. There was a part of me that was like, well, I actually kind of hope they make a sequel to this. Like, I would like this if it was more randomly generated.
I think you should patch it.
There was, oh yeah, or you're probably right too. You come out with some type of DLC that adds a bunch of new layers and stuff like that. But I go back to this because I think we made a really good point on this many episodes ago. I just kind of wish these games had leaderboards more often. I wish those were like a readily available thing because, like you said, Andrew, at the end, it does give you like all your stats and stuff. It'd almost be cool if it gave you like a rating.
On my Xbox. I almost want to say there is a leaderboard.
Where?
I don't have my Xbox here. I want to turn it on.
Because the fact that it like keeps, I mean, somebody could chat GPT this, but the fact that it keeps all your stats and stuff there at the end of your run, it would be just kind of cool if it could put that in comparison to others. It would be cool to pull up somebody else's and see what weapon were they using, what equipment were they using, what upgrades did they get. It'd be kind of cool to see that, like, wow, that was an insane run, whether it was built on speed or whether it was built on damage. Because this would be a perfect one for speed because everything is essentially the same, just depending on what order they're in. Everyone could, in theory, have a very similar run every time. The only RNG that you would run into is what kind of blessings you're being offered. Even then, you can re-roll those.
But
No,
but
I only see a community
points-
speed run board.
like speed.
Okay, so speed
like,
running is what I thought would work.
And I can still see it because of the fact that it's so skill based on like hitting those, hitting the critical spots, and everything like that. Like, I don't know, I could see that being a factor, but it is all random, so you can't be like, okay, they're always going to spawn right here the first time.
But it's not all random.
No, I get that.
Every time, like every room is exactly the same, and the things that spawn in it are the same. So
Yeah, but you might not get a pylon on your first 3 rooms
No.
type of thing, and that's going to slow you
It's
down
the-
maybe versus something
Yeah,
that
it's
doesn't.
the order in which they're coming. Yes.
But outside of that, I still get what you're saying. Like, I think there's an aspect to it. I mean, honestly, unless I'm missing it, not to go on a huge tangent, but I actually was just thinking about that with Soulstone Survivors, the other game we've been playing, is like, I want a leaderboard. I want to see how much I'm crushing you guys. But beyond that, like, I do think the leaderboards are always fun in these games. Whether it's damage dealt, like, just there's different things you can do.
Just about any game. It is surprising that a lot of people just don't do leaderboards much anymore. That was such a 360 era thing, and it's really fallen off.
I mean, it's if you want not to get into some whole conspiracy thing, but it there's no value in them developing it. They don't gain any money from
What are
it.
you talking about? It keeps player retention.
Player
Do
retention.
you know how much I played Geometry Wars? Just because I kept trying to beat our friend
100% right,
Brian's
but they
score.
they weren't getting paid for every time you booted up the game, Andrew. Maybe they do in Game Pass, I don't know, but
It's word of mouth.
I'm just saying, there's no monetary value for them going, well, if we add a leaderboard, we're gonna sell this many more copies of the game. We're gonna make more dollars.
A leaderboard costs you probably very little. And
Because they already collect that data anyway.
You're right, but someone's got to develop it, and do they want to pay for someone to do it?
Do you remember almost every
That's why I don't think it exists outside of a
multiplayer
lot of
game?
indie games.
Like almost every 360 multiplayer game had a leaderboard. Like I remember Ghost Recon
Because it was
had
about the
one.
community. It
Yeah.
was a different era of gaming.
Man, where did they go? That's sad.
We're in the era of gaming where Bank of America can decide that we need to pay $80 a game without having a single input on the game other than just going, you know what, you should just charge more for it because we think
Bank
so.
of America? How did they get involved?
I don't know, whatever bank was that said that.
No, I'm pretty sure it was Bank of America. Yeah, talking about Grand Theft Auto. No, they wanted to charge $200. They thought Grand Theft Auto should have been $200.
Jesus. But that's exactly my point.
Because they said this is probably the last great game ever.
And you know what?
So it should be $200.
I understand that to a certain degree.
No,
of
I
how
don't.
Long
this is the last great game. Make it really
if
expensive
you-
so nobody can
if
enjoy
you
it.
Let me finish what I'm saying. To the degree of like how much time went in to build it and all that, I actually don't know that I'm personally excited for it. That's a whole different conversation. But my point is that we're in the era of if something doesn't add value to the bottom line, companies scrap it. It's largely the era we live in. And I think that that's coming to gaming. And outside of the double A's and below, you're just not going to see those things that are going to be good for the community. Maybe some of the bigger triple A's.
I think it's coming back.
Because I hope so. I hope I'm wrong.
A leaderboard.
Perfect. I love it. As I said, I hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong.
You are wrong, Keith.
Everything sucks now because private equity. But that's, again, a whole different conversation.
You know what? With enough community input, we got arachnophobia modes. We need to get enough community feedback here to bring back leaderboards.
Right?
So let's get on that, people. Bring back leaderboards.
Leaderboards and loot boxes. I know the game. I want more loot boxes.
All right,
I'm with you. I actually I miss loot boxes. They're slowly coming back.
All right, speaking of loot boxes, so I picked up Impulse. I've been playing it both on PC and on
Picked
Xbox.
up what?
Impulse.
Oh, Impulse.
So
I thought you said pimples.
Impulse is the love letter to Titanfall. It's in early access.
That's right.
It has loot boxes. And it actually has a level, like people keep calling them NFTs, but I'm like, this really isn't an NFT. But certain loot boxes that you open, your gun has a license number on it, starting from 1. So you can see what number skin you got. And then they have...
That is kind of an NFT, but that's awesome.
Yeah, but you can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I can't do
But obviously
it.
it's going to be way more valuable, even if it's a crappy skin, to be like, this is number 1.
Maybe if you can in the future. So what they started doing is each week they have a list of challenges you have to complete. And when you complete them, you get the gun skin in its order and it goes up to 1 million. But they're like, once it's done, that's it. So I got on that first week, I got number 900 and something. And I was like, dang, I went on 1,000. I was so close to 1,000. So it's just cool
This
because
is
then I'm
so
done.
greedy. Like this is
No,
like corporate greed sounding.
hold
though.
on. I should clarify. You do not pay for any of the loot boxes.
Oh, okay.
You
So you only
cannot
get it when you
purchase them.
unlock the challenge.
So the
this
game
is
is
get a FOMO.
the game is $20, and there is no cosmetic shop or anything in there. So you earn credits as you're playing. You use those credits for loot boxes, and not all of them have the license on them. Like those are the epic skins have the.
Oh, okay. I thought you were what you said.
No.
That was every skin.
Nope. So like, and when I open it, I get a random one. So I might get a legendary one that's got a license on it. And I didn't know what it was at first. Like I had one for a gun, and I was like, why does it say 38 on it? It was like 038. And then I realized later when I saw the challenge, I was like, oh, it's like I was the 38th person to get that skin.
That's pretty
like-
awesome.
Yeah, like it's to me, it's like I don't know what they're gonna do with it in the future. Andrew, you could be right. Maybe these become tradable or something like that in the future.
But unless
And-
they're taking a cut, that's not greed because
No.
it's I
It's-
mean, it's going to lead to some crappy practices and people are just going to spend too much on it, but it's not
But
greed.
I can't purchase anything. The only
Yeah.
credits I can get is by completing challenges in the game itself.
You can't
That's
buy
pretty cool.
credits.
No.
I like that system.
There is no in-cash shop, so it's got a loot box system. You just can't purchase. I know Overwatch did the same thing. They brought back loot boxes, but you cannot purchase them. They're only earned by doing stuff in game, and they give you the old loot boxes back. So
Which
they
I
are
like.
kind of coming back, yeah, in their own little way.
Nice.
Yeah, we
I
want
love-
to
I like
wide
that.
changes here.
And I want more battle passes. This is your
No.
big one, Andrew. No, I want more battle passes that give you enough credits to buy the battle pass because that is player retention. They incentivize you to want to play the battle pass enough so that you can continue buying it without paying for it.
I agree with that. Yes.
As long as
That's
it's not
all I'm saying.
timed.
Time to a certain fairly. I don't think it needs to be like sweaty timed, but like if you have like 3 months to complete it and trying, playing every day, you can complete it in a month. Then yeah, I think that's reasonable.
No, but
Like Apex, I thought was always very reasonable about it. And I know
Yeah.
they've gone away from that system.
yeah, they got rid of it.
But
Literally, when they got rid of it is when I stopped playing Apex.
But at the time that they did, like it never felt like I was like, oh my gosh, I like have to. But I always wanted to play it, and that was the thing. It was an incentive. But you're right. We're way off the trail here.
Well, not because you said more battle passes. You heard so Ubisoft just came out with a remake of Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Again, good battle passes. I want to be
Yeah,
clear.
they essentially
of
put a
my
battle
own
pass in a
words.
single player game.
I mean, Ubisoft is gonna Ubisoft at the
I
end
know.
of the day.
And they keep going, why are we losing money? Why are people not happy with us?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, this is already turning like a news episode now. But yeah, getting the graphics out of Abyssus. I love this game's art style. To me, this game's art style is really what sets this game apart. It's super cool looking. Like anytime I saw trailers for it, I was just like, okay, that's really cool. Your character looks super cool. Like I said, they're kind of in like these old timey dive suits, which of course you have different ways to customize it. It's actually kind of cool. One of the suits I had was actually very reminiscent of Ezreal from League of Legends, because it even says this belongs into a museum, and I was like, I know that reference. That's cool. But yeah, the cosmetics on it are really cool. The enemies are okay looking. That's the most I'm going to say is just okay. I will say that's the weakest part is the enemies. The bosses are cool.
Yeah.
But literally the first group of bosses, the first enemies you're fighting are either replicas of you, so they're mutated sailors or scuba divers, or golems, which are pretty like golems are always kind of a generic enemy, or frogmen. Like, come on. So like the enemy variety is kind of but the
Hate the
bosses are at
frogmen.
least kind of cool. I will say, the bosses, the boss fights in this game are actually one of my favorites. Unfortunately, like I said, there's not a lot of them, which is really unfortunate because the boss fights were super cool. The Sanctuary boss, you fight this giant skeletal guy who's outside. They're kind of raid-style bosses. You usually have like objectives you got to do with them. The very first, the Golemancer guy, he'll, light up some tiles you got to avoid. Eventually, he summons these pylons. You got to destroy these pylons. The skeletal guy I was talking about, every time you fight him for a while, he ends up teleporting, and you have to do either like a platforming mini game where you have to get to the top before time runs out, or you're going to take a ton of damage, or like there'll be different objectives with it. Sometimes like essentially a lava's rising, you got to outrun it. They had these cool objectives to them. The boss designs were awesome. I just wish there was more of them.
So I'm going to touch on that for a moment. And again, I want to remind the listeners, this is not a complaint. This is a me thing. So the Golemancer, again, he floats a little bit. He's throwing things at you. I'm looking at projectiles. I'm looking at him. I'm looking up. And then all of a sudden I realize, crap, I'm taking damage because of the tiles. Now I know that it's happening. It's not like it was a mystery, like, where am I taking this damage? I knew that the tiles were there, but I forget to look for the tiles because I'm too concerned about him dashing at me or throwing bombs at me. And all of the things that he's doing on top of that. I know that I'm just bad, but I'm trying to make it as dramatic as possible to plead my case here.
So people aren't going to bash you for giving this game a bad score just because of your skill issue.
I'm not even going to give it a bad score because of my skill issue. I'm just saying it's not the best roguelike that's on Game Pass.
Just bless your heart, Keith. Bless your heart, man.
That's why I'm bad at first-person shooters. I need to see everything at once.
But yeah, like I said too, the gun designs of this game are awesome. Like the art team in this game did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah.
I
I love the exhaust that was on, like, again, the only weapon that I unlocked. But, like, I love the animation of it, just, like, having the just giant exhaust that came off of it, like an old-school hot rod.
Oh, yeah, the engine rifle.
Yeah. So I'm assuming the other guns were designed cool, too. And even in that section that I was playing through, of all the enemies, while you're fighting the same enemies, when you get up close to them, they're actually really detailed. Like, you know what game I was trying to... I remembered, Andrew, and I couldn't tell you the name of it. But it was the one that was, like, kind of wizardy. And it was, like, it was first-person shooter. But the graphics almost felt like old-school Doom. Like, super janky graphics. It was super fast-paced, and it was a lot of, like...
Into the Rift.
That sounds right. Yeah, it was probably, like, 3 years ago we played it, maybe more.
Yeah, I hated that game.
You did. And I'm not saying this game felt like that, but, like, there was points where, like, the graphics where I was like, they weren't great. But then when I would get up close to things, I was like, oh, actually, that looks a lot better than it does from afar. If that makes sense.
Maybe it wasn't that. It was something with Rift in its name.
Yeah, but either way, you remember the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. Because I literally actually was thinking about that, too. And I remember going, I hated that game.
But there was points where, like, the graphics are way, way worse in that game. But, like, I kind of had that same vibe of that in Abyssus. But when you actually look at things, they're actually really detailed and really cool looking.
Yeah, I like the look of this game. I think this game looks great. I just wish it was more wet. You're underwater. I think I need to see more wet.
It needs to be more moist.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
need more moisture in it, you know? No, the game looks great. I like the design of it. I'm totally with you, Andrew. I think it's a good looking game for, you know, but graphics are just good these days. Like, it's so hard to sit here.
It's either we're playing pixels or we're playing, like, good graphics. It's just one or the other.
Kind of like what's really happening now is, do you like the art style or not? Like, you really can't complain about graphics. It's just like, does the art style?
You love
that goes to art style.
That's an art style. That's an art choice. True. You don't have to do that. That's an art choice. So it's just kind of funny. Graphics are just a funny thing now, because I feel like there was a time, and I feel like it's more relevant to highlight something that is, like, exceptional. Like, certain games look exceptional.
Like Clair Obscure. It's been a while.
Or, yeah.
We haven't mentioned
like a Forza. But
well, there you go.
You didn't have to bring up that, Keith. So
I absolutely did. It's been way too long.
Yeah. All right. Graphics are good.
The audio too is also solid. It's as Keith said, this game does have sometimes gets overwhelming with kind of its audio and visual cues. I guess I'd rather have too much than not enough. It's not enough. Like, it's not too much where I'm like, I got confused. But there were times where I'm like, oh, did I get hit? And then I'm like, no, I still have full health. Like, I don't know what that cue was. But this game at least is throwing enough kind of visual stuff at you that you kind of, you got to pay attention. But as far as the audio, like, the music was good. No sounds were too annoying. They do a decent job with the audio. This game takes a page very reminiscent of like Deep Rock Galactic. They always say rock and stone. Like everything about it,
Yep.
their dialogue is always stone. But in Abyssus, it's all about brine. Is this covered in brine? Is that brine? There's brine over here. But yeah, the audio is great. Or
Yep.
good enough, I should say.
Good enough. Like what kind of?
Do you guys have anything to say about it?
No, I have. Again, same kind of idea. You're right with the dialogue. You're kind of just talking and stuff. When you said it was Deep Rock Galactic, I was like, oh yeah, pretty spot on. Just kind of says random lines about things, and that's kind of
nothing really
kind of
matters.
funny.
But,
yeah, you can play this game without audio, but it does sound like the gun sounds were good. Again, at least for the ones that I used. So like the audio is good when you're listening to it, but you can play without it largely.
I don't know if I'd not play without audio because it's a boomer shooter. Like you kind of want some of that audio cue. I try to get as much cue as I can get. So you could,
No,
I
dude.
guess.
When I've got Limp Bizkit's break stuff playing, like I don't need to hear the game. Okay, that thing's got me going.
Rolling.
So one soundtrack, just that
No,
one
I
song?
play those two songs back to back to back. That is how I prefer to play my video games.
All video games doesn't.
Well, it doesn't matter what it is.
We've actually just discovered why Aaron doesn't like cozy games because he's listening to break stuff while he's playing
That
Stardew
doesn't
Valley.
fit at all.
It's like a water game. Don't you want to listen to like Drowning Pool?
Shut up, Andrew. The joke. It was a Limp Bizkit joke. Like, why? Why'd you ruin that?
He had to bring in a bad pun. That's Aaron.
Just boo the man. Boo.
This is you. You have known this man since you were born.
I know,
and
and
you
it's
were
like-
questioning why he makes a bad pun.
It just ticks me off. That ticks me off.
But yeah, as far as the achievements go, it's gonna be hard to 1,000 in this game. There's a ton of challenges. Just about all the challenges are tied to an achievement, but these challenges are pretty fun. I was getting a ton of them without really trying. I have over, I think, 500 gamer score out of the handful of runs I've done. There's some that I was going to take much more of a effort. Like there's one to complete a run without getting any of the blessings. Granted, as you join a multiplayer game, you could just sit in the back and not taking the blessings. It'd be a burden to the team, but you know what? It's for achievement sakes. You know, people will understand that you're a burden for the team for the achievements. That's your Keith. Keith's just always just a burden. Keith's used to it.
Man.
It's true.
Like, he's like lashing out.
I like Keith. Yeah, it's true.
He's like, no, that's a bad idea. But I like it. Anna just sits here and is like, I mean, I'm just getting achievements all the time on this. Like, it was pretty easy. Like, just shut up.
I mean, I'm giving my honest opinion.
Everyone
You're
was
talking about
hating
achievements, Aaron.
on me.
How are the
sending me
challenges for
angry
you, Aaron?
messages,
I don't
Give
know.
me your
challenges.
experience.
I don't pay attention to them challenges. Okay.
So
Again,
Then shut your
I
lip.
have Limp Bizkit playing too loud to notice.
then don't be coming at me.
right,
You are allowed to give feedback in this segment.
I don't care about achievements. I don't collect achievements.
Then sit back and listen to me.
I'm at an age where I don't care about getting achievements on every single video game I play.
But yeah, so there's a good amount to grind in this game. That's one thing I did enjoy about it. Every weapon has their own challenges to them, so it's great to go back and get the achievements and keep grinding out those weapons. But yeah, let's get into our final score though on Abyssus. As I said, for me, this was a game. I had a lot of fun with it. I still want to go back to and play it. This is something I will say, yes, probably will not grab my attention for super long. Like I'm kind of with Aaron. Like there is a lot to get, but there's not a lot to see. So you are going to see the same enemy varieties, the same bosses. Like it is just, yes, increasing the difficulty a little bit. So there are things to grind for and go for, but you're not seeing a lot of new things. I think if this game came out with some patches, got some new areas, I think for me, I thought the weapon variety was good. I had a lot of fun with the weapons, and I can keep playing with them. I don't really need new weapons. I don't really need new abilities. I just want more areas. I kind of also too, like some maps had objectives, not a lot of objective variety. There's like 3, 4. So yeah, not a lot to see, but there is a lot to achieve. So this is something I could probably pick up in another month and do a couple runs and put it down again. But this was still a lot of fun. I'm gonna give this a 78.
Man, this is a tough one because I still liked it and it's still a game. I would still recommend it. I just didn't love it, and I really struggled to get into it, but probably because of my own skill abilities, probably coupled with, again, distractions of other games that maybe if I wasn't into and I kind of had to fill a void, that probably would have filled it, filled that gap a lot better. I would have been a lot more into playing this if there weren't other games in the genre that I was just way more into.
Should have said it filled an abyss.
Oh man, I was trying to avoid bad innuendo on the audio, so I just tried to change my terms and I went with Gap. Abyssus would have been a good pun though. You're right. So yeah, this is a game, but I think I'm gonna go with low 70s. Call it a 72. I feel like 75 is usually my like kind of bare minimum for the genre, and it's still a game. It's just a low score for the genre. That's all.
This to me is a good game to burn a week. I would love to talk to somebody that has played this game a lot and is doing those higher difficulties. Like, what are you doing at this point? I guess maybe just trying to get to that ending is maybe the draw. But if there was a little bit more variety in these levels, I think I would have been pulled in a little bit more. I had a lot of high hopes coming into this one, so maybe I'm being a little unfair because I was expecting myself to be really like big time hooked on this one. Because I don't mind a first person shooter, I don't mind an arena shooter, and add in all these elements of these roguelikes. I thought for sure this was going to be a huge hit for me, but again, I would probably say most people after like the 12-hour mark would probably be like, all right, I've pretty much done everything I need to do with this one, and I'm okay walking away from it. Maybe it's updates in the future. I have no clue if those are coming or not. I did not see anything like that. This is obviously a full release, so I'm just giving a review on what's available there today. In that case, for me it is a 75. I think we're all going to remain in the 70s here. I think that's pretty safe for it.
You mentioned arena shooters. This is a random thing. We've just done enough tangents, and I'm not trying to pull this because I know you're done, Aaron. But do you guys remember Monday Night Combat?
Keith, that was like you loved that game.
Yeah,
so
Keith
much.
That was such a weird 360 era game that Keith.
It was good. It was clever.
But man, I loved that game. I don't even know why I loved it at this point. Like I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
But you said arena shooter, and for some reason that popped into my head. And man, that was my gamer.
It was a very okay
for,
game, but for Keith, for whatever reason, it really stuck with him.
No, I liked it a lot too. Not as much as Keith, but that was a good game.
But anyways.
But yeah, I forgot to mention Time to Beat. You're looking at like 10 hours. Completionist, it's listed at 128 hours.
Goodness gracious!
So like you said, Aaron, I'd like to meet a person really grinding that out.
That is pretty wild.
But anyway, that's going to do it for us this week. Please make sure you go to GamePassCrapback.com. Check out our website. See the reviews of all our past scores. Top right corner, you'll find a list of all of our links to all of our stuff, our Discord, our YouTube, and whatnot. Come by, say hi. We always love hearing from you all. But I've been your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird0952. And, yeah. Well, might be gone for a little bit. I'm going on vacation.
Oh.
I was sick this week. I'm surprised I was able to play as much as I did in this game.
Dang. I wasn't sick.
Surprise. Bye, everyone.
We love you all. We'll see you again soon.